Father, Mother, hello. I hope things are to your satisfaction. You are likely doing just fine without me around, but Raisha says I should write. Raisha is the char on board, and they are a Ketra, like me. They are nice. Do not expect grandchildren from this compliment. I am well, largely unharmed since that day in the storm. They find me useful. I do my best to quell my temper until it is necessary to not. Raisha has taken on to helping me tame the storm. Our captain is rough and unfair at times, but for the most part things stay civil. I do worry about their recent obsession, but I am sure things will turn out fine. Should it not? Well, I have learned a lot of what I am capable of. I will not be shy about imparting this knowledge onto others. Your child, Izuesco.
Dear Vesh, I know that you're doing well and everything's fine, but I really miss hearing your voice. We're heading out for a raid soon, and already I can hear the whispers of your words in my ears. Don't look smug about that, troublemaker. I don't know if your way is the better way, but it does seem to be a different way. When you get back, tell me about it, okay? Love, Shale.
Clutch mate Selnari. These words scratch like dry leaves, but we write them out anyway. The waves of green still do not hold us, but here in the creaking wood of this ship, something old and glowing crawls, and it hums like home inside our chest. We do not name it, but it sees us, soft and strange, like webs that do not break in the wind. Our legs still shake on these planks, not made for us, but we stay. We follow it, even if the rest of us stays lost. Drone Skell.
Shale, I hope this message sees you soon. There aren't many word-bearers in this area that want to make the journey to Heartstone. Oh, how I wish you could be here with me. But I know, your training comes first. The crew I picked up at Port Basker left me as soon as we arrived at the next spit. I think everyone can tell I'm as green as the trees. I might have found a new crew, but well, who knows how long they'll stay. Kick Terran extra hard for me next time you're sparring, and write me back soon. Your friend, Vesh.
Clutch mate Skell, we are pleased to hear your correspondence. It satisfies us greatly, as well as your continued survival and exploration on these rolling waves. Here on this island, the days are long and the years are short. We have finally found the warm embrace that we have often heard of, but chased so long. Home. We hope one day that you and yours find it as well. Tell us of these people and this ship. Tell us of your travels. Tell us when you find home again. Drone Samari.
Dearest Mother, we set out for our journey today and I'm nervous. You would think after going on my own pilgrimage I'd be ready to go back into the vast sea. But there's part of me that fears it. Atlas is brave and daring, someone I trust with my whole being. But I worry his ambitions will take us to places even he can't handle. It's reckless enough to go out for a second expedition, but the Council relies heavily on him, as we both know. All our lives we've been this way, it seems. He rushes into danger, and there I am, always ready to patch him up. But I suppose he's always done the same for me. There's never been a fight, physical or otherwise, that he's not come running to defend me for. It's only right I see this journey through by his side. Look at me lamenting like I'll never come home. Please tend to the gardens while I'm gone. I'd hate to return to a dead garden after such an arduous journey. Give my love to Father, and please take care of yourself while I'm away. All my love, Visha.
Dear Vesh, if reports are to be believed, and I hope they are, you've been quite the troublemaker since you set out. Where do I even start? You collapsed a spit into the sink, and then either adopted or displaced the entire population. Details seem to be a little scarce on that part. But it's even harder to believe that what people are saying you did afterwards. Did you and your crew really subjugate the concourse? That's been on the danger list for years. Even veteran raiders wouldn't try them. How did you do it? Set the record straight for us, but also let me know. What have you seen out there? Where are you going next? Are you still searching for the truth out there? Your friend, Shale.
everyone. I'm happy. I'm exhausted. I just got back from a trip, but I hope you're all having a wonderful week. We were all just talking about and got distracted because we're going over the Steam summer sale and trying to figure out exactly how much our wallets are about to be pillaged. Let us know in chat or in our Discord, discord.gg/MagicRPG, what games you're eyeing for the Steam summer sale. There was a good bundle for Sand and Forever Winter. They're calling it the Frost and Dust bundle. Forever Winter's great. So, you know, that's one thing. But tell me what you're considering. There's a lot of good stuff that's really cheap. Heirs of Honor just finished up last night, and if you missed it, that's a shame. It was really good and heartwarming, and there was a lot of tears that were shed, and there was Aaron was being a little sassy little bitch to Craig. It was great, but you can catch up and watch that on our YouTube.
Sassy little bitch.
/MagicRPG, and watch that show now that season is done. Craig has some more goodies on the way. He hasn't revealed what those are yet, so I'm not going to reveal for him, but I did participate in one of these goodies, so they should be coming soon, TM. There's a lot of stuff in the bag and a lot of stuff that's being planning. And if you like Cosmere, there is a lot more Cosmere coming your way, but you can catch up on both of our Cosmere shows if you would like. Blood Money is off this week. If from talking to Tracy, I believe that it's going to be back next week.
Next week.
Yep.
So you can catch up on that on our YouTube as well. If you are behind, and I'm not going to reveal yet, but there is a new show announcement that I'm going to be making this week. And if you're in the Discord, you know what it is. If you're not, I hope you're excited. Most of the people, everyone except Sparrow, took part in that game, and it was a lot of fun. But it's something that is recorded that we did a while ago that is finally going to go live, and I hope that you will enjoy it. So go to our Discord. It'll also be on socials, and you'll get to learn what we've been cooking up. Heck yeah. You guys ready to play some games?
I think
Yeah.
so.
All right, let's do it. The intro.
You got me so bad, you make it all slow down, not getting closer, you're killing me. You thought it's over, I'm waking alone now, not getting closer. I knew that it was seconds from you losing me, but I just couldn't give it up. And all the time you said you wanted me, when you know we don't get along like we used to. Went along with everything you said and done for me. You'll never love me now, but you'll never know. You got me so bad, you make it all slow down, not getting closer, you're killing me. You thought it's over, I'm waking alone now, not getting closure, you're feeling me. So done running around, I'm so done looking for love, don't call me. So done running around, I'm so done looking for love so blindly.
Last time, the crew had a little bit of a downtime, or I don't even know if you can really call it downtime. Like, a bunch of stuff still happened. But some of the party went after a small child, chased her back home, discovered that there was a little bit of an underground resistance to the Garls. The Bellows Garls, a farmer and his family. They interacted, got to meet them a little bit. The other side of the party kind of interacted with that secret society a little bit, or at least kind of unwittingly did through Captain Vesh, who was given blueprints, punch cards, and a plea for help from a word bearer in town. Town is not really appropriate, from within the city. You also got started on upgrading your ship, a fairly major upgrade to your ship. But then, with all the commotion that was happening, you all drew the attention of the Garls, and in order to, for them to allow you to stay in the city, they insisted on putting a collar around the captain's neck, which was very weird. You all still don't know what it does. You've studied it a little bit, but you haven't actually taken the time to figure out exactly how this thing works. But everyone was very paranoid around Vesh because Visha, as you found out, was a wanted fugitive. And what was the name you were all using for her very poorly that no one actually remembered?
I'm Pim. I'm Pim.
It's Pim.
Yeah.
Pim.
I don't
Dr.
think
Pim.
Izuesco said it. Did she? Did he? I don't remember.
You all were
Well,
pretty bad at saying the correct or incorrect name. As
Skell
it were.
was pretty bad. Skell
was so
directly
bad at
said said Visha a couple times. That was
But
great.
you know, who knows who's listening on the other end of that? You know, the Garls are wild. So with that, I will kind of we've had a few different times in port now, and I always like to start off asking everyone about character habits to get us in the zone. What are some small comforts that each of your characters seeks when you are in port or docked somewhere? We will start with Sparrow. What about Izuesco? What does she seek out?
There was a letter that Izuesco received some time ago back on the Onyx Star. And I think it was on her person when she arrived on the spirit route. And I don't think she's ever talked about it and I'll leave it up to you and the other players to determine if anyone has caught her secretly rereading this letter. But
It's one of the letters
if you've-
in the intro or the pre-intro.
perhaps
I
it
guess
is,
we'll say.
yeah. Yeah. So I think I'll put it this way. It's one of the things that she's weirdly paranoid about, and so it is not a thing that stays in the same place often. Because she knows people move around the ship, people go into places, we keep bringing people onto the ship. She's not going to keep it in the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
So she is always finding somewhere else to hide it, and it is something that she often hides in plain sight. Like you just go, oh, cool, that thing. Anyway, then move on, and it's like secretly.
I will leave it to all of you to choose the more interesting option about whether your characters have seen Izuesco peering at this, or if this remains a mystery.
Or if you have
to
found the letter on your own.
Or if you found the letter on your own. Choose the
Could
most
happen.
interesting option. As always, we're telling a fun story.
I'm assuming you're keeping it on the spirit route, right? Like,
Yeah, I don't think she very often will take it off the ship.
yeah, okay.
She has,
but not.
but
often.
it's not often.
All right, Vesh. Bijan, what does Vesh seek comfort in when portside?
Well, I think Vesh has a explorer's attitude to a new location. So he's going to, it's not so much a specific location, so much as he wants to walk through the neighborhoods. He wants to see a bar or I don't know, see what's for sale in the market, see if there's food stands, or like what's going on in this area. How do people live? He's gonna talk to random people as he wanders the city, not for any express purpose.
I mean, yeah, you kind
the
of did
port,
that.
yeah.
You kind of did that last session. You were just kind of trying to get to know the people here.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that also because of the device, he's not spending a lot of time on the ship. So I think if there's anybody that he would meet that would be interested in him or would seem interesting to him, he would spend time talking to them.
Cool. What about Scal? What does Scal do portside?
Gel is. Man, that's a good question. I was trying to think.
All right, I can go to Visha and come back to you.
Yeah,
Give me a
yeah.
second. All right.
Yeah,
What
I'm
does Visha take comfort in port side?
So I have kind of a sad answer, unfortunately.
That's what.
I don't think she leaves the ship very often unless it is like someone asks her or they're doing a job. Like, unless it's really required of her. But there is a spot that she does that it would be noticed that she seeks comfort in. Or maybe it wouldn't. She just passes by this one spot on the ship, and it's right outside of the captain quarters. There is a little pillar that's just a support of the ship, but carved into it are a few letters. And Visha knows this to be the initials of the original Spirit Root crew when they first took off. So it has her and her brother and all of their other crewmates from when it was first built. And it is still there.
All right, Momo, you can let your imagination run wild for last names, but the other original crew members, let me grab them for you. So you have Atlas, you have Callum, you have Marcus, and I think those are the only ones I have named, and you. So you can run wild with last names if you want, since you're mentioning initials, but you don't have to figure that out now.
Yes, that there are initials there, and they're carved pretty deep in. They're definitely, I mean, they're old now, but any time that she is not being, when she's not needed, everybody's gone from the ship. She spends a lot of time sitting there, if it's with a book, or she just kind of is leaning against it. It's just something that brings her comfort.
I think with that, you probably would have noticed occasionally Marcus going over and brushing his hands across that as well. And he is yet to leave the ship. I think the Spirit Root is bringing him comfort. Chris, what do you think Skell is taking comfort in port side?
Skell is taking comfort. I'd like to think that Skell, Needle, and Youngblood found a mushroom hookah place and are definitely becoming one with the stones. Yeah.
Awesome.
And so he would definitely, as his, their experiences on, oh man, I forgot where they're from. That's bad. What was the spit? Rust Bucket?
Rusttown?
Rusttown.
Rust Bucket?
Yeah.
Far off. Rust Bucket's pretty close.
From their time in Rusttown, and knowing that Youngblood and Needle and Lau have all had a pretty rough time since leaving Rusttown, from their house collapsing to getting enslaved to being attacked.
It's been rough.
They've had quite the adventure. So I think he would ask them if they wanted to go become one with the stone.
And the answer is absolutely yes. On that note, Chris, do you want to just, let me see, just give a, what do I want to do here? Just roll a d6.
Okay. A 4.
Okay. You tell me if you think this fits. I want to give you a milestone to add.
Ooh.
To your milestones. It's kind of on theme with some of your other milestones, but I would say the milestone is make peace with who you are.
I like that. Is that a minor or a major?
That one's a major one, I think. So you can add that. And as always, you can decide when and if and how you hit that. But it is a new side of Skell that I think is very in line. So
I like it.
yeah. But we begin on land, and Captain Vesh, you've been walking around, talking to some people. Your collar has been beeping over and over again.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else wanted to help with this, but I know one of the things you still wanted to try to figure out is what this thing is. Is that something you would like to try to do? Or are you just kind of like, it's only going to be on me for another day. I'm going to ignore it. How are you feeling about that?
I would check back in at some point, right? I'm wary of spending time. I'm letting them come up with ideas, and maybe casually as I'm wandering around, I'm also looking. I'm asking people probably. People probably asking about the ring, and they might have seen these before, right?
Oh,
So-
that's a good point. Good point.
Maybe there might have been conversation that comes up around
Roll
that. Would I have learned anything?
I think you could do tides and probably sway makes sense from your skills. And let me see
Yeah.
if people are willing to talk to you about this.
That's 3 4s.
Wow, we
I
had
rolled.
the number of the beast last time, and now we have 3 4s. Ooh, I have a good twist for this. People are very hesitant to talk about it, but you have been very sociable with the people here. And there is a clock that I've been ticking called Harbor's Loyalty. You are now, through all of your efforts, at 4 out of 6 on this, because you've been putting in a lot of time and effort. And because you've built such a good rapport, despite the fact that people are really hesitant to talk about this, eventually you realize, yes, these are things that have been put on dissenters previously. But no one really knows exactly what they do. But you are told that the rebellion that previously existed, one of them had blueprinted these at some point and was working on figuring it out, but the rebellion was quashed before the answer to that was discovered. It's possible those blueprints are still floating around somewhere.
Wait, are those blueprints that I received earlier? Are those just
So those are specifically
Literally.
blueprints of the Garls, but
Oh, those are the Garls. Okay.
you do still know and have access to the person who gave you those, so it's not a dead lead for you. But
That's
that's
true.
what you discover
That's
from
true.
talking to people, that this is a familiar sight, unfortunately, for them.
Would anybody have mentioned, casually asking how many Garls there are? But then also, if people did talk about like the revolution, how many people revolted and like what exactly did happen? What was like? Can I get any details about
Okay.
that so I know the forces that were up
Yeah,
against?
I won't make you roll again. So just from what you all have seen and observed, and what people say, there's about 200 Garls in the city. Like, there's a lot. Obviously, that does not outnumber people because there's thousands of people here, right? But that's still a not insignificant amount of fascist robo-patrols, right? As far as the rebellion, it was relatively small compared to the size of the population. Maybe several dozen, certainly less than 100, who were willing to actually take up arms and attack the Garls.
Okay.
I don't think people, once you've gotten them talking about the necklace, it'd be the same type of people that would keep talking to you about the numbers, and they're not particularly shy about it. It's less that the population as a whole is tight with information. It's just you have certain individuals who are willing to entertain that, like the small child that you met previously. And then there are types that do not want to talk about that, like her father, right? So you kind of notice this schism in philosophy as you talk to more and more people about this.
Okay.
Yeah. But that is what you spend a lot of this day working on. Does anyone else have stuff that they are thinking about or would like to do on this day?
Did we get my medal?
Oh. Remind me, how much
I think
metal were you trying to get?
Just like one sheet.
Oh, yes. I believe that...
I traded an anti-ship shell for
Yes,
it, along
yes.
with medical supplies.
Yes, you did. You did get those things. Yes. So if you would like, you can work on the integration. But how secretive you want to be and whose help you want to enlist in that, I leave entirely up to you.
Skell would be down in the cargo hold, holding up this piece of metal to his chest, trying to like measure it. And he's not being secretive about it. He's kind of excited about it. This is like the first new piece of clothing
Like
that
Christmas
he's gotten
morning.
Exactly, in a very long time. And it's a piece of sheet metal. And there's a dog on the boat now.
Got the dog in him.
And yeah, like he's not being secretive about it, but he's just trying to like measure out his body. I don't think he would like go to people yet, but he would definitely be in the hold doing this.
So what I'd say is you would notice from in the rafters up above the workhorse. Is that what we called your outrider? I think it was, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so,
that's it,
yeah.
Above the workhorse, you would see Sprite just kind of looking at you inquisitively as she's hovering, kind of like trying to figure out what you're doing, but is just kind of observing and not saying anything yet. And of course, as you're doing this, the ship is still being worked on, so eventually you might, as they're plugging the holes in the ship and expanding the size of the hull, and working on adding rooms, you might get the occasional worker to look on you, but people seem kind of, for now, content to let you do your thing.
Cool.
I would say eventually you would kind of see, and it's not very long, but you would see Lau come down the staircase and see you doing this and kind of do the, this as a Midwesterner, the oop, and then kind of walk in and then turn and then go back up the stairs like he's kind of walked in on something that maybe you want privacy for, and then just kind of leave you to it.
That's so funny.
Metal skin.
So I wasn't gonna say anything, but I don't really understand what you're doing.
I am measuring the metal.
Other than Lau, I don't think I've ever seen anyone wear metal before. Is this a new Zelicray thing?
I want to be protected like Captain Vesh.
Oh. You're jealous of ardent skin.
Jealous.
Are my words not correct?
What is jealous?
Like when you want something that someone else has, or want to take it from them? Not take it, but copy it.
I am not that kind of Zalacray who takes skin. Captain Vesh. Swords bounce off him. I was almost killed by a simian creature. I want to be able to not be killed by said simian creature. So, I will put this piece of metal under my clothes and hopefully be able to take a hit. We are soft and chitinous, Sprite.
I guess that makes sense. And I guess it's not that hard for you to hold it. I'm sure you've got...
Oh yes, we have already discussed the ability to each member of the colony to put one leg on it. We will share the weight.
You know, I retract my statement. I think that self-improvement is something that should always be aspired to. Well done, then.
Yes. It is just big. I will need someone to help cut it or form it, but I do not want to inconvenience Lao.
You know he wouldn't mind, but you live your best life.
I will keep testing its size and shape. I may reach out to him.
And you see her fly off for a moment. And then after like 5 minutes, she comes back. And you see she has a giant buzzsaw that is like the size of her that she is carrying and struggling to fly with. And then just plop, and you hear clang as it hits the deck. Like this.
Where did you get this cutting instrument?
Oh, I rented it for some scratch. You know, I got a few flowers and twigs and branches from cleaning the hold earlier, and the carpenter wasn't using it anyway, so...
This is good.
Yeah, and reinforced. It cuts metal and wood.
How does it work?
You know? And she pulls up and she sees cables, and then she like puts them together, and you see sparks like go off. It's like, I was told it'll hook up to our battery. What's the worst that could happen?
It is throwing little flames.
Oh. Well, we've got a battery, right? It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I think we should get help, Sprite.
No. You don't want to bother people. This will be perfect. Just carry it to the battery. I'll plug it in.
Are you trained in such skills?
Oh, you know what? Marcus was a rattle hand before he died, so he can help.
That could be fun. I only have one piece of metal, though.
So you'll cut it?
Well, Marcus, as the rattle hand, should cut it, should he not?
Right you are. Let's go get him.
I will carry the powered cutter.
Marcus, stop your sewing. We need your metal expertise, not your raveler one. Okay, I'm in the engine room.
Perfect. Marcus, I require you to cut this piece of metal to the dimensions of my thorax.
Yeah, I heard you. This isn't a very big ship, you know.
Well, my apologies then.
Oh, it's okay. I'm just glad someone remembered that I'm still here.
How could we forget?
And you see, he grabs the cables and like, okay, let's see. And the way he does this is more violent and like kind of jerky than you would have, but he like tears some like he just starts ripping at the engine. Like to you, it looks like very brazen and uncaring, but like he just like grabs it, slots it in, and you see he like actually begins like very carefully, and you're like a little bit shocked, but he actually has a welding torch, and he like starts welding for a second, and you see Sprite like kind of gasp, because fire on ships is usually a big no-no.
Yes.
But then you hear the motor on this saw start up and then stop. Not compatible, but easy for me. This is my ship after all.
This is your ship? This is Captain Vess's ship.
Sort of. Technically. Depends which law you go by, I guess.
What it is also Mistress Visha's ship.
Yeah, it's more her ship than his ship, in my opinion. But I was told not to say that because he's kind of sensitive about it.
He does get quite heated when she brings it up to him.
Maybe, I shouldn't have said that. Maybe, we pretend I didn't say that. Captain Vesh seems like an okay fellow and a decent captain.
He is very nice and wise, yes.
Well, then, Atlas who?
Who is Atlas?
Let's pretend I didn't say that either.
You are very talkative today, Marcus.
I feel useful.
You are making me metal, yes. And Scale kind of puts all three of his arms out wide to like.
Oh, and then he like realized, oh, right. And then he, at first he's like, brings it with his hand, and then he's like, wait, what am I doing? And you notice like he's had like scraps of cloth like wrapped around his clothing, on his arms and his legs and his torso. And then he realizes like, what am I doing? And you see him start to like wave his fingers, and the different pieces of cloth come off of him and like connect from his arm to the metal to hold it in place.
I forgot he's a
raveler.
Yes.
And then he holds the saw steady with his hands while the cloth is holding the metal, and he begins cutting and fitting this thing to you. And I am going to use Marcus's skill for this project. Since he is helping you. So let me just roll on my dice. Okay, wow, that was almost really bad. But it goes okay. It was a conflict with a twist. What is a good twist for this? Let me see. Because I know you're creating an aspect with this, I assume, right?
That is correct, yes.
Which aspect are you creating with this? I cannot remember.
I am creating. So I'm calling it, it's Engine's Toll. It's under Stowaway. You survived an accident that should probably have killed you, and you did it alone. That's why he's wanting to do this by himself. Gain
Okay.
immunity to one damage type of your choice, and you have resistance to all damage and effects that would result from hazards and malfunctions on your own ship.
That's really cool. Okay.
So it's not only the armor, but it's also the grit of the process of him
putting
growing.
the armor on. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I will say. Let me just find this really quick. Do you know what page Stowaway is to help me out?
I do not
That's
by
fine.
heart. I'm just using the Charsmith app.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let me see. What am I doing? I have digital tools available to me. I don't need.
It does say it is obviously it's in the expansion because that's where Stowaway Storm and Root it says.
Yeah. Storm and Root is the expansion.
Mhm.
I want to give you a little bonus from the twist on this aspect. I'll think of it later, or I'll look as I'm going. But yeah, you spend hours doing this, and you help Marcus doing it, and it's a little bit of a painful process to go through. Well, I mean, we can't really get into the meta philosophy of being made up of a hive mind of a bunch of different spiders, but we can.
The physiology.
Yeah, we can guess that this is straining. All these spiders kind of holding this in place, but eventually, after many hours, you have kind of like integrated this metal into. It's not so much a skeletal structure, but essentially the equivalent for you of a skeletal structure. You have kind of Wolverined yourself with this metal.
Oh, okay.
If,
I like that.
You want to imagine that.
Sure.
And I did find the aspects.
So yeah, some of the spiders that make up my body, fitting the metal into my skeleton, my now metal skeleton. Some of them get squished, some of them get pinched. You know, it's not the easiest ordeal to put metal inside of your body.
And you are trying to make yourself immune to Keen, I take it, yes?
He wants whatever the smashing one was.
Oh, so like
If
blunt
that's
force
blunt?
trauma. Yeah, let me see.
I forget the damage types.
Yes. I'm gonna look it up really quick.
Oh, I got it right here.
Oh, you
It
do.
is. It would be blunt.
Blunt. Okay.
Blunt is crushing damage. Yeah.
Okay. That is really cool. I'm gonna think on a little good twist on this. I don't have one now, but I'll come up with one. That's very cool. So yeah,
You want a benefit or you want a negative?
No, I want a benefit.
Oh, okay.
If you have a good negative that you want to add, hey, I think, it will be fun, but I don't have one in my head right now. Or if anyone else has one that they want to suggest.
I have one.
Okay, go ahead.
So it makes him immune to. I have to look at it again because I haven't added it yet, and every time you exit, so he's immune to. So this would be
Blunt damage.
plus your benefits. Yeah, immune to blunt.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's metal, he is weak to acid, as the metal degrades if he gets acid on.
Ooh, I like that.
And then plus your other benefit. So we'll get 2 benefits and a weakness.
Oh, okay. So what I was going to propose is, and it's on theme for your ship and on theme for Marcus's background for being a rattle hand on this ship. If you were to take lightning damage, you can redirect it to in your immediate vicinity once.
Ooh, I'm a lightning rod.
Yeah, so basically, if you get struck by lightning, you can redirect it with the metal that is coursing through your body. So you can hold on to that. Given that you're a ship that charges on electricity and you have a tempest in your crew, it's not the most unlikely thing to happen, but it is still very niche, so I don't think it's super strong. And
Alrighty.
also, I was like, the hazards that will come on your ship are probably being electrocuted, given how much that's already happened. It literally happened to you with the lightning cannon. Cool. Let me go to Visha. Visha, what are you doing on this wonderful day?
Well, I can't leave. But
Why can't you leave?
that's not going to stop me from leaving. I shouldn't leave. But that's not going to stop me from leaving.
Because, you'll get spotted, but that's not
They
gonna
think I'm a
stop you.
fugitive. I think she really wants to help. But, she's a little recognizable. So I think she's going to take like a little handkerchief or like just small piece of fabric and kind of tie her hair back a little bit, cover it. And then put her little hood over that as well. She's like, I have white hair. That's kind of very recognizable. And I think she's gonna leave the ship.
Okay. Give me a grace roll. I want to see how good this disguise is, and I think that's about the best skill you have for this.
All right then.
Outwit would have been perfect, but, I think grace is Veils would have been even better. Okay.
A 4.
I will say, anyone who's doing a cursory glance at you will not recognize you, so you won't get spotted out of a crowd. But if you engage in conversation with someone for any amount of time, they will probably recognize you.
Well, shoot.
But it will take them at least a few minutes of talking to them before they piece it together. So it shouldn't stop you from doing too much.
Okay. And then...
What would you like to do to help?
How can I help? How can I help?
There's a lot of ways to help.
I think she's gonna help in the way that she is best at, which is, I think, finding people to help. Because I think in her mind, they can't do it by themselves. It's just a matter of numbers. There's just not enough of the crew to fight 200 Garls. Just not. But inspiring people, building morale, letting, taking care of people's other problems so they can focus on the Garl problem. So I think it might just be going through the common areas wherever it's crowded and doing a lot of observing and listening.
Okay.
If obviously the best thing she's skilled at is listening for people maybe who need help medically.
And
Or-
tend
or
also,
even rattle. Yes.
It tend works for emotional needs as well.
Yeah.
So you can say use tend to heal injuries of the crew, nurture plants, and soothe the minds of both beasts and your fellow crewmates. So
Yes.
I would say for all of that, you can definitely use tend. If you think you have an edge that works, you can do that too. And we'll just see how much work you're able to get done.
I'm gonna use sharps actually.
Okay.
Mix a little smarticles with the fields. I have a 1, a 5, and a 6.
Hey, triumph.
Yay.
So I'm making a clock. It's a good clock. Welcome, Raiders. Hello, we're playing Wildsea.
Hello.
Welcome in.
I hope you're having a wonderful night. I'm making a clock called Prepared to Fight for you getting the population ready for rebellion, and I'm going to tick that 3 times. I'm making it a 6-tick clock. As you are kind of offering your services, and, you know, you are a medical person, and you're going throughout the city, seeing what needs done, just lending your services, talking to people, trying to understand them. I'm also going to tick 1 tick on the Harbor's loyalty clock. But not only do you check on people, looking at their injuries, it's mostly work injuries, but when you take a closer look in the work that you're doing over the course of this day, you'll notice some injuries that are definitely not work injuries. These are injuries that have been gained through whether combat or other kinds of physical exertions that have been hidden and have not been repaired out of either fear or shame. Whether you choose to mention that as you're healing these people is up to you, but it would seem that the Whispers have not all either been killed off, fled, or disappeared. There seem to be many of them that are still here that just need a little bit of help. And I will let you decide, as you definitely get paid for this work. How you get paid, I will kind of leave up to you. If you would like to take payment in food, in medical supplies, in technology, as I've mentioned, these people are very, very close to ardent privy artifacts. And without recapping 2 episodes worth of exposition, you've also noticed that this settlement is very different in terms of how things work, the types of things they have access to, etc. So,
Right.
How would Visha like to get paid?
I think, and if you need a more straightforward answer, obviously let me know. But I think truly what she would want is whatever is most convenient for the person. If she's working with someone who's a rattle hand, so they have access to lots of tech or scrap, she'll take that. Because she ultimately is not doing this to be paid, but will take a small something if she can to help her own crew, of course. But I imagine whatever, like, you know, if she wanders upon someone who happens to have spare bandage, she would love to take that from one person. Yeah, I think it would depend on the variety of people she is helping, because ultimately it is to inspire them and bring spirits up, not who can pay me the best.
Okay, I have a proposal.
Okay.
I can do this. I'm a game designer. I would like you to make an aspect.
Oh.
I would like you to make a 2-tick aspect called, you can flavor it how you want, bips and bobs, or odds and ends. You can mark this to pull out something that you might find lying around someone's house or garage. If you need an item, you can mark this
Probably
to
have
get
the
it.
item.
You probably have it. But it'll be 2.
Yes.
And if you, once you've ticked it, you'll need to replace it somehow. So there we go. You can add a
Yay,
2
that's
track
awesome.
there.
Thank you.
Yeah. There you go. And finally, Izuesco. You very similarly on the previous day had been trying to find people, help people, have conversations, and have stumbled upon the beginnings of the underground. What are you doing on this day?
I think Izuesco is going to be a little bit more careful, or at least attempt to be more careful than she was yesterday. But she wants to see what draining that generator has done to some of the girls. She's trying to understand if it was effective, if it did it do anything, if it did something, what did it do exactly? Because I mean, if it was somewhat effective, she may explore trying to just disable this generator, charge herself up, and take out a good section of the opposing force, in a subtle way. But she also is not trying to give herself up, knowing that there's a possibility that a Garl saw her in the vicinity.
Okay. Roll for that, my friend, using your observational skills.
Yes, indeedy. 242.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, another good twist. What you notice throughout the course of the day, ever so slightly, there are fewer Garls out on patrol. Where normally you might see 2 guarding an intersection, there is 1 where a ship is docking, and you remember the welcoming party you all had was several. There are fewer, and they seem to be less aggressive or forceful to the primarily ardent population that's here. So it definitely seems to have had an effect, that they have had to spend energy and resources having to guard or restore or do something with their population to compensate for what you've done. What exactly they're doing, you don't know. Or why exactly this has worked, you don't know. But it has done something.
Okay. I think that has emboldened her to a degree. So,
who has a good twist?
me.
Positive or negative?
Either one. What's more fun?
Well, perhaps somebody noticed they were checking out. Could be positive or negative, depending on who noticed.
That was literally what my thought went, and I think that is, your activities and scheming has been noticed by the population. Whether that will be good, bad, or neutral, we will find out soon.
Okay, I think what would a Ketra want to do here?
Besides scarf on some Krezerin.
That's a good point. It's been a bit since she's done anything in that regard, and she is unique in that aspect. So I think that is going to be her motivation out of this, and also her cover. So she's going to see if she can spot any sites that have Krezerin that she can use. And if someone is like, "What are you doing around here?" she's going to be able to use that as her cover of she's actually looking for it, but also if someone is like, "I saw you over there," she's like, "I'm looking for Krezerin." That's going to be her her cover and also motivation.
Thankfully, there is a lot of farmland on this island, as you all have noticed now. And while most of this farmland is domestic and is not as untamed as the iron roots below, every once in a while there will be some Krezerin that appears if something has gone wrong in the agricultural process. And so you are able to find some unwanted Krezerin that some of the farmers would just be getting rid of anyway. And you prune it by munching it down, and they are appreciative of that. You're basically pest control for them, in a way.
I was about to say, it reminds me of the goats at Universal that are
Oh my God, yes!
eating all the shrubbery at the fire line. You just see Izoesco just chowing down on some Krezerin.
Chomp, 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 chomp.
I think she would to-go it, honestly. Like, she would just, like, store a bunch of it.
Yeah.
You got a to-go box?
He just, like, takes it into his form and is, like, gonna absorb it later.
Heck yeah. So at the end of the day,
full of Krezerin.
yeah, at the end of the day, you all coming back from your tasks, or in Skell's case, has been there the whole time. But I think of all of the things that you have done today for everyone, the thing that you would notice the most is that Skell seems to have metal running through his entire body at this point. That was not there when you left this morning.
You're
And you can see him on the deck of the ship, like, stretching his arms.
Him proud.
Uh-huh.
Did you get the metal put in?
Mistress Visha, yes.
You want to show me? Can I see?
Better yet, you can try it out.
What do you mean?
Punch me.
She kind of holds her fist.
It's at
I
this
can-
point that Vesh arrives back from his time.
Perfect.
Captain.
Everything all right here with my crew?
Geller's asking
Punching
me
each
to
other?
punch him.
I have incorporated the metal into the colony.
So you have. Look at that. And he turns to Visha. Well, you better punch him then.
No, I don't want to punch anyone. Maybe you should punch him.
I don't. I'm not good at it. I don't punch people.
Fine. Okay, fine. What do you want to be
It's just
hit?
a test. It's just a test.
Right here. And like motions to his chest.
She will try so hard to It's probably not very hard.
It probably hurts you
Nothing.
more than it hurts him.
It probably hurts her more than you. Yeah, if I had to guess. She just pulls her head.
I feel it. I felt the metal for sure.
Not one spider in our colony was harmed.
That's really good. I didn't want to.
I brought you something. I traded an anti-ship round for this metal and also negotiated with Captain Vesh to get you more medical supplies.
Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you both.
Did I hear more medical supplies? From somewhere within the ship.
Oh, Sprite.
Yes.
We were so low. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we sure were.
Thank you, Sprite, for the words of wisdom.
Oh, it's part of the job. Just what Mistress Visha would have done.
There should be a box of bandages and box of medical herbs in the infirmary.
Q, that's gonna be super useful. Picked up a few things while we were out. There are a lot of people here who need a lot of help. So, I've got a weird assortment of things.
Where is Izuesko?
I don't know.
Have they made it back to the ship yet?
You call upon me?
Izuesko. Look at
They-
my metal.
They emerge from underneath, like from underside the ship. They come up like the ladder. You can just kind of see their head kind of poking up out.
I am like you.
You are like me?
the metal inside of your body.
Ah, I see.
Punch me.
Interesting. Are you sure, Skell?
I am positive, yes. Isaac Wesco's got 3 pips in like break for some reason.
Bam. Yeah.
She's going to do it, but she's going to pull her punch.
Okay.
She's not going to say that out loud, but she's going to do it.
You don't want to hurt your friends.
Good thing I did, too, because it's a 2, a 1, and a 1.
Yeah, it probably hurts you more than it hurts Scout.
This is the best day ever.
I'm glad you're having a good time.
Most impressive, Skell. I am happy for you.
I want to thank Marcus for cutting the metal for me as well.
Oh, Marcus helped.
He did with his wrappings.
He's very nice. I'm glad. Did you get to talk at all? He's good company.
We did, yes.
Oh, that's good. So, now you can't be hurt. Is it weird to be covered in metal?
It was quite what you would be recognized as painful.
Oh,
A small number of the colony were squished and pinched as we added it to our exoskeleton.
oh. Well, I'm sorry that happened.
It is okay. We understand the sacrifice to protect the colony.
It'll be good if we need to fight against the Gauls, then.
Yes. As long as they are punching me and not cutting, stabbing, electrifying, pouring acid, poisoning, I don't know if I am immune to those.
That's a long list.
There are a lot of ways to die on the Wildsea.
I know.
When you mention electrifying, Eyes Wesco starts kind of poking and prodding at the the metal plate, like she's trying to test the thickness of it.
Yeah, because he doesn't know that he can. I wanted to kind of act a fool for the redirect.
I got you.
Until it happens, I wanted to.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Izoesco, as you're like poking and prodding it, like, you know, you're not. If you're gonna do it closely, then give me a roll to see if you can figure out the limits of this. But it seems very sturdy from just like poking and prodding. It's almost like you're poking the skeletal structure of a person.
So her thought process on this is that Skell said, "I am like you," and when he mentioned the electrifying part, she's thinking of the lightning rod in her arm. So she's trying to be like,
"Is it the same?"
Like she's without shocking him. It's like, would this like redirect, or would it just, you know, like she's not trying to like test if it's gonna bend or break. She's trying to test what would it do to lightning without, because like the thing here is that like Aizu wants to test it, but also she knows that they're very outnumbered right now. So like harming Skell is a bad idea, even in like a training setup.
Do an instinct and rattle for me. I would say study, but you do not have any in study.
Aight. It's a 2 and a 5. haven't
This
too.
is not arconautics. This is not something mystical in the way that it is for you.
This is just metal inside of a.
This
a
is
thousand
science. And like it is weird science, but from what you can tell,
It's just spiders and metal.
yeah, it's just a hive mind of tiny spiders holding a bunch of metal in between them. So yeah, in the way that everything in the Wildsea is a little bit magical, but it's not arconautic in nature, similar to Marcus's Raveling or your Tempest ability. At least it doesn't seem to be.
Interesting. This could be quite helpful. I have done an experiment. Our friends,
Which is her very poor attempt at sarcasm.
seem to have been less aggressive today. Have you noticed?
I have not left the ship.
I did notice a little bit. I was able to move pretty freely throughout the city today, and I wasn't sure if it was just I was really well disguised or what.
I didn't encounter anybody either, and I was asking about them.
They have been less in number. Perhaps someone on this ship has attempted to cut the power of some of these girls.
Did you now?
Somebody did.
Me? No, not I.
Where you can see her slits kind of like move almost in that like cartoon way that
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Batman's eyes move.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like
from Vesh's face down to the collar.
And
then
Vesh
back
immediately
up.
picks up and goes, "Oh shit!" You see his eyes widen.
bombastic
Yes.
side eye.
Someone might have done that. Crazy.
Seems dangerous. Perhaps irresponsible. Someone should keep an eye on these generators to ensure that this does not reoccur.
The generators, yes. I hear those are very important to watch.
One more day. It's been a full day, right? They said 2 days,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Firefly.
Mm-hmm.
One more day and we should see them again. So
You could warn them.
I could. Perhaps our captain, in good faith, could do something.
perhaps I could find out if anyone else has heard around town of any potential attacks that might be happening on a separate generator somewhere else. Might help those girls out.
Perhaps.
So you hear from below deck, yo, so like, do we like the girls or not like the girls? It's really hard to keep track around here.
I will answer that.
And she turns and goes below deck, and then you just hear like low-pitched mumbling.
Perfect.
Got it, yeah.
Yes.
Someone should warn those girls.
And I'd say 45 seconds later, Izuesco pokes her head back up from below deck, and then slowly comes back up.
Yes. All right. I will go and work on that. He's going to go write out instructions. He's going to go find that those people, the revolutionaries,
like the ones that were more sympathetic to what you were talking about before. Yeah.
Yes. But what he's going to write on this note is going to be... So here's the idea that he has in his head, is that we can use this to give some misinformation. I'm assuming that's the idea that we were planning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to maybe have people talk about rumors that they've heard about a different target than what we might actually be planning.
Ah, I see. The old disinformation.
To attack.
Okay. This is going to be a tricky roll, but I like it.
The note is basically just going to be this whole
I
explanation.
gotcha.
It's going to be like, yeah.
So Veils would be better, but you can use Tides for this, and you can use Sway for this. Again, Outwit would be better, but oh my, that
Double
is a
sixes
crit with a twist. Oh, I need a music change. One of the people that you were talking to earlier, before, actually, hang on. I need to look up this NPC. They are a named NPC. I need to make sure I get their background right. Okay, yeah. This person's name is Ollie. By day, farmer is the wrong word, but it's the closest thing, I think, unless you all tell me once I describe if there's a name for this profession. But you've noticed this in a few different places in Harbor, that there are people who essentially their job is to be lumberjacks. They're planting trees, cutting down trees in order to just harvest. And by doing it this way, they're able to reduce the amount of Krezerin that's there. So they're just kind of... there's a word for it that I'm not thinking of. Forester? A forester. Where they're planting and cutting down trees constantly for lumber was this person's job. And they were just kind of in leathers, with axes, seed bag, a few other tools for harvesting sap and removing Krezerin. But as you're kind of disseminating this good information and bad information, you do it so well that as you're passing this note, he grabs your wrist, not harshly but firmly, and he kind of looks at you and kind of looks into your eyes very intensely and deeply, and he just says, "How serious are you?"
Serious. I don't know how to respond to that.
I can only watch my friends die very few more times, but you've caught my interest. Are you actually making a move, or are you just a tourist?
Perhaps we should be a little more careful with the types of things we might be talking about. And he nods to his ring.
He looks at you. He looks at collar, not ring, but yes.
Collar, yeah, the ring. The ring.
He looks at
Which
that
some
and
might
then
call a
looks at
collar.
you, and then he looks confused for a second, And since you got a crit and a twist, it says, "Oh, you don't know what it does yet. They're not listening. It's and he like is searching for the word, and then he switches from low sour and he starts speaking in Chthonic, and he says, it's a transponder. It's not a recording device. It's not a microphone." Like searching for the word.
Oh. How are they going? They wanted to make sure that I wasn't with a specific person.
No, they
How would
wanted
this
to
have
make
helped?
sure they could track your whereabouts in the city and that you weren't going to leave. Or if you left, they would know.
Okay. Well, I cannot tell you how serious I am. I don't live here. This isn't my fight. My
Yours.
principal
Go ahead, sorry.
allegiance, my principal concern is my crew's safety. But we've decided to try. And we're going to try and help. And I can promise that we will come through on anything that we set out to do together.
Okay. I'll be standing by. Just be careful who you get riled up around here. Not everyone is so sympathetic to the cause.
I understand. Well, we're sympathetic. And right now, we are just trying to make sure that the Garl do not come aboard our vessel and do not find someone who might be very important to them.
Oh, did you? I won't pry, but I'll keep your secret.
Even if they're not recording, I feel like it's safer to keep some things more discreet.
Well, I'll see who I can rally for who's left and who's been inspired.
And if you could, anybody that has any information about the Garls and the Onyx Star, about their time here, what happened, what they might have been planning, where they might have went, any details, would be very helpful.
He kind of furrows his brow for a second, like he's connecting dots. And then he gives you another look. Which ship was yours again?
Why would you like to know?
Why are you looking for the Onyx Star? You go looking for trouble often?
I guess in this case we might be. But if you're interested in what you say you are, they are connected.
kind of thinks. I'll ask around.
All right.
Ollie.
Vesh.
I knew it. And he kind of smiles.
What? You what?
You don't have a famous do-gooder come to your city every once in a while. Blessing in disguise. Maybe it seems like something blew in and it's not a bloom tide for once.
All right. We're not do-gooders, you know. Like we're on our own quest. We have our own. All right. Yeah, we'll try and help.
Sorry. I'm a fan of, someone on your crew. And I just wanted to know if the rumors were true. Is that okay?
No.
What?
The rumors are not true.
Oh. He kind of looks disappointed.
Vesh is gonna hold strong there. Even if he trusts him,
Mm-hmm.
which I think he does, it just doesn't seem like it's a good idea for that information to spread.
Yeah, this
more.
person is obviously not being particularly prudent once he thinks he's gotten a strand to hold on to, but he kind of like nods and says, well then. And he kind of like nods and takes like a half bow. Have a good night, Captain.
He bows in return. Good night.
And let me tick the prepared to fight clock all the way through, Mr. Critical Success with a twist.
All right.
Does any of you have anything you would like to do before the night is out?
Not myself, no, I don't think.
I've been struggling with a way to kind of introduce this as a thing. Because after Izuesco had a meeting with her maker, if you will, there was an opportunity for her to level up, and I haven't really talked about, or we haven't really had an opportunity either for that to kind of manifest itself. So I think, this is just the thing I'm going to say, and if it becomes a scene, great. But I think she is, in moments of being alone, if she's not looking at that letter and trying to connect herself there, she is definitely much more interested in her her storm abilities than before. Firefly, I know you can see what I have added to the sheet if no one else can.
You can feel free to incorporate however you would like, my friends.
I think she's gonna start planning to incorporate a replacement of something in her right arm. I think she's kind of testing her electric abilities a little bit, and she's maybe considering going more in that direction.
Yes, let me There's a good line on this in the book under the section for Tempest. Let me see if I can find this really quick. There's so many different classes in the book that sometimes takes a little bit to
Right.
find. Oh my gosh, there's so many. For those of you who have not played the Wildsea, one of the things I do like about it is there's so many different, I guess you could call them classes or subclasses, but yeah. Internalizing the wild power of a storm is no small feat, but it's not impossible, either through technological application or obscure arcanautic methods. Tempests have managed to embed the essence of lightning within themselves. But then it says, holding on to such raw power is difficult even for the most disciplined, and many find themselves the subject of wild moods and sleepless nights as thunderstorms roam their minds. Only the most dedicated tempests manage to typify that dangerous, deadly calm of thunderheads massing on the horizon. And like all arcanautic traits, tempests are experimenting with something somewhat based in science, but also somewhat not. And the metal rod in your arm has no scientific reason why it should give you lightning powers, nor does the piercing that you carry make any logical sense for why it lets you consume Krezerin. But experimenting with this and your powers and embedding something into your other arm could grant you other powers. And so, yeah, I'd say on those quiet nights, as you're thinking about your encounter with your maker, so to speak, it makes sense that you would begin to experiment, and the type and areas and how you experiment and the results of those experiments are up to you to decide. And what you are embedding within your skin, I put in air quotes, is up to you.
I think it starts with the lightning rod being in her left arm means that he typically will use the left arm when trying to do that. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they can't shoot it from the right side. I feel like it's probably just like a shorter range, if anything. And so it's kind of like they're trying to starting by trying to focus on arcing the lightning from the right to the left as opposed to the left to the right.
So you all would hear the quiet sounds of thunderclaps late at night on occasion, as you don't know why. It's not raining, but you hear it every once in a while as you are trying to get yourself to fall to sleep. The next morning, you are all greeted by an overcast and cloudy day. And you might wonder, since it's been gorgeous lately, what's happening and why. But all of you as wild sailors begin to realize the signs even before you fully know what's happening, as this cloud becomes a unnatural mist. You notice on the ground and hugging to different corners in the ship, you see mushrooms begin to blossom quickly. You notice dirt and mold gathering quicker than normal. The air begins to feel heavy, damp, thick. And I think it would be Skell, with his habit of being in the crow's nest, that would spot it first as a quick-moving spore cloud begins to drift towards the city. And we will go to a quick break before you all try to figure out how to deal with that. I think we'll be back in about 15 minutes.
Oh no, not spores.
Not spores. Yeah, I think some of you are immune to that. We'll find out who exactly in a little bit. But we will return and talk to you all very soon. Bye, everyone.
See you in a bit.
Bye.
Father, Mother, hello. I hope things are to your satisfaction. You are likely doing just fine without me around, but Raisha says I should write. Raisha is the Char on board, and they are a Ketra, like me. They are nice. Do not expect grandchildren from this compliment. I am well, largely unharmed since that day in the storm. They find me useful. I do my best to quell my temper until it is necessary to not. Raisha has taken on to helping me tame the storm. Our captain is rough and unfair at times, but for the most part things stay civil. I do worry about their recent obsession, but I am sure things will turn out fine. Should it not? Well, I have learned a lot of what I am capable of. I will not be shy about imparting this knowledge onto others. Your child, Izuesco.
Dear Vesh, I know that you're doing well and everything's fine, but I really miss hearing your voice. We're heading out for a raid soon, and already I can hear the whispers of your words in my ears. Don't look smug about that, troublemaker. I don't know if your way is the better way, but it does seem to be a different way. When you get back, tell me about it, okay? Love, Shale.
Clutch mate Selnari. These words scratch like dry leaves, but we write them out anyway. The waves of green still do not hold us, but here in the creaking wood of this ship, something old and glowing crawls, and it hums like home inside our chest. We do not name it, but it sees us, soft and strange, like webs that do not break in the wind. Our legs still shake on these planks, not made for us, but we stay. We follow it, even if the rest of us stays lost. Drone Skell.
Shale, I hope this message sees you soon. There aren't many word bearers in this area that want to make the journey to Hearthstone. Oh, how I wish you could be here with me, but I know your training comes first. The crew I picked up at Port Basker left me as soon as we arrived at the next spit. I think everyone can tell I'm as green as the trees. I might have found a new crew, but well, who knows how long they'll stay. Kick Terran extra hard for me next time you're sparring, and write me back soon. Your friend, Vesh.
Clutch mate Skell, we are pleased to hear your correspondence. It satisfies us greatly, as well as your continued survival and exploration on these rolling waves. Here on this island, the days are long and the years are short. We have finally found the warm embrace that we have often heard of, but chased so long. Home. We hope one day that you and yours find it as well. Tell us of these people and this ship. Tell us of your travels. Tell us when you find home again. Drone Samari.
Dearest Mother, we set out for our journey today and I'm nervous. You would think after going on my own pilgrimage I'd be ready to go back into the vast sea. But there's part of me that fears it. Atlas is brave and daring, someone I trust with my whole being. But I worry his ambitions will take us to places even he can't handle. It's reckless enough to go out for a second expedition, but the Council relies heavily on him, as we both know. All our lives we've been this way, it seems. He rushes into danger, and there I am, always ready to patch him up. But I suppose he's always done the same for me. There's never been a fight, physical or otherwise, that he's not come running to defend me for. It's only right I see this journey through by his side. Look at me lamenting like I'll never come home. Please tend to the gardens while I'm gone. I'd hate to return to a dead garden after such an arduous journey. Give my love to Father, and please take care of yourself while I'm away. All my love, Visha.
Dear Vesh, if reports are to be believed, and I hope they are, you've been quite the troublemaker since you set out. Where do I even start? You collapsed a spit into the sink, and then either adopted or displaced the entire population. Details seem to be a little scarce on that part. But it's even harder to believe that what people are saying you did afterwards. Did you and your crew really subjugate the concourse? That's been on the danger list for years. Even veteran raiders wouldn't try them. How did you do it? Set the record straight for us, but also let me know. What have you seen out there? Where are you going next? Are you still searching for the truth out there? Your friend, Shale.
to Breath Between Branches, or Wildsea show. Wow, that was harder than I thought. Thank you all for joining us. Just before we get back into it, small announcements. If you are new here, and I know there was a lot of new people because there was a fairly large raid. Thank you for doing that, by the way.
Thanks for the raid.
We are Magi RPG. We play a lot of different games. VTM is kind of the crown jewel, where Miss Magitech will run various VTM chronicles on the show, but we play a ton of different games. I am someone that likes to run a lot of Forge in the Dark games, so Blades in the Dark, Scum and Villainy. Wildsea is not exactly Forge in the Dark, but it's Forge in the Dark inspired. Other things, and all of those games, A Girl by Moonlight, those are all on our YouTube, youtube.com/MagiRPG. There's kind of something for everyone on this show. We have a lot of grimdark, we have some cyberpunk dystopia, we have some hope core, we have a lot of really queer romance, a ton of that in Girl by Moonlight, some tragedy. We even have traditional fantasy RPG stuff. We've done Dragon Age, we've done D&D. I'm thinking about doing more D&D adjacent things. I've just started looking into Stone Top, and I'm like kind of enthralled by it. So I have some other things I need to do first, but we'll probably do more fantasy RPGs eventually. But anyway, all of that is on our YouTube, youtube.com/MagiRPG, and you can find that for this and our Cosmere RPG games. We've had 2 seasons. Heirs of Honor just finished yesterday. And those on our YouTube as well. For other shows, since that one is done, Blood Money, which is our VTM show, is going to be back next Friday. It is off this week, but then we'll be back for more Wildsea basically every Tuesday for the foreseeable future. So if you're having fun, you can keep coming. And then if you want to talk to us about games or talk to us about what's on your wish list and or in your cart for the Steam Summer Sale, our Discord is discord.gg/MagiRPG. I currently have $100 of games sitting in my cart that I'm debating pulling the trigger on. I'm already so far behind my single-player playlist, but to be fair, my multiplayer playlists I've been churning through, so maybe I should just focus on that and do fewer single-player games. But Stellar Blade looks so good, and it's like half off, and I don't know. Like
maybe you should. I think you should just get it. You should just get it.
I'm just a sucker for Android sometimes, you know. And then I'm going to be announcing a new game that's going to be happening. I don't know. I think I'm going to release it Monday. Mondays, it's fully recorded. I'll probably announce that tomorrow or shortly thereafter, and you'll catch that on social media. But very, very excited for new show stuff. Okay, that's it. You all see a spore cloud coming towards you. You taste it. You see the evidence of it. And these are very harmful. They can be very bad. Any of you who do not have ways to breathe through them, this would draw a special amount of concern for. What do you do as this is drawing near? You see people on the shore beginning to run for cover and run to buildings, and the streets beginning to clear as this is coming in. What do you all do?
Ooh.
How rare are spore clouds, or often? Like
they are not common, but not rare. It's just one of the environmental hazards on the wild waves. If you remember, near the end of last season, there was a bloom tide, and that's kind of like an explosion of flowers and blossoms. So bloom tides can happen, spore clouds. There's another one that you haven't seen yet that I will use at some point called blanched waves that just starts killing trees. So things like this happen.
We talked about it early in the first season too, and I remember thinking we need to get those. There's the special like cloth covering.
Yep.
We need to get.
Did you ever get it?
No, I kept forgetting about it. And you know, it's honestly, this is probably the perfect place to get it.
Yes.
In the 2 days that I've been wandering the city doing nothing.
This is why I always got to put you guys in danger. Just got to remind you that despite all the love and happiness and revolution, that the wild waves are a dangerous place. So I'm just going to read: a thick cloud of fungal spores drifting across the surface of the canopy or through the branches beneath. That is a spore cloud. So if you are exposed to it, you might have mushrooms and fungus begin blooming inside your lungs. So it's bad. That said, now you know what it is. Yeah, and they're not rare, they're not common. They're uncommon. If we're going to use the World of Warcraft rarity system or the Magic the Gathering card rarity system to describe them.
I think
some of you
Aizu
might be
would-
immune, by the way, but I'm not sure. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, I'm unsure. I think Aizuesco would probably wager that this is a bad time to find out. Either way, so she will press herself deep into one of the crevices of the ship using her gelatinous form. She's just going to go deep in and kind of do her best to use her body to cover any like the nasal and oral passages. Maybe she will take a cloth with her, maybe like a shredded piece of sail or something. I don't know. That's her aim, I think.
Cool. I would say, is there a trait that you have to do that? Or sorry, an aspect?
Gelatinous form. Yep.
Yeah.
You can squeeze and compress your body to move through spaces much smaller than expected.
Okay, so I will say you can roll with greater impact, but I would say brace and iron probably makes the most sense for this. But you can roll that. What else would anyone else like to do? Wow.
Ooh, a 6 and a 5. Let's go.
Nice. I think I really like the sail idea. Kind of sparked something for me. I wonder, would Vesh have heard possibly of people using sails as a makeshift?
Sails and cloth in general is what people can sometimes do. There are specific cloth you can get for spores, but in a pinch, any cloth can help a little bit. But
Okay.
it might not be perfect.
So we're kind of stuck here anyway. It's going to be hard to find lots of cloth. I'm going to try and... I see Aizuesco grab the bit of sail and the light bulb goes off. And I grab the rest of it and I hoist it down. And I use that to I rip that up and try to make cloth coverings for as many people as I can. Putting one on myself first, as you should always do. Put on your own oxygen mask
Before helping others.
assisting others.
Smart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for anyone who is an ardent, which I think is 2 of you, there's a specific item called a spore scarf. Thickly worn fibers sealed with tar resist the effects of bad air and airborne spores. But with that, with what you are doing, iron definitely makes sense. Do you have anything else you think that will help you in this instance?
Scavenge. Got one in scavenge. This is sort of
Okay.
like scavenging
I got you. Yeah,
materials
this works. It
for
works.
of a different use, you know?
Yes. I'm not going to give you increased impact like I did to Aizuesco. Oh, no.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
That is a disaster with a twist.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
I'm going to save this until after everyone has decided what they do so I can wax poetic.
Cool.
Visha,
Get him.
what about you?
Well, funnily enough, I don't need to breathe, so I'm fine. As I have the trait or the aspect mortal needs.
Yeah.
So I was going to try and help the others who do breathe, like most creatures.
Yes.
But it looks like Izoesco is fine. I know we don't have like standard hold an action, but if somebody desperately needs her help to find something like Vesh, maybe
Go
she
ahead
could
and
assist.
do tend. Tend is perfect for this. If you have an
Wonderful.
edge that makes sense, let me know what you think that is. But tend definitely is correct for this situation.
Yes, sharps, because what I'm going to do is get like a little. She probably has a little cheesecloth type thing for mixing some of her herbs and mushing them
That's
and kind of
reasonable.
straining them a bit. So she's gonna try and use cheesecloth from her stores that just got replenished to make a little breathing cover for him.
Okay.
So I'm gonna roll 3.
Do tend with sharps.
I have a 6, a 1, a 3, and a 6.
Okay. And finally, Skell. How are you weathering this?
Skell, as he's in the crow's nest, he scampers down as he realizes what's about to hit the spit, and he runs into the cargo hold. He does, while he might, his person might not breathe, he does have thousands of breathing things inside of him, and I would imagine that, my headcanon that Zealocray might be susceptible because they're essentially not a vector, but if a mushroom gets inside, it can decimate the colony. So he is running inside of the cargo hold to try to what would say the most secure sealed area is for the ship.
It's a good question, and I timed this perfectly, of course. In general, the ship seals are very good and are even getting better, but they are still being repaired. So inside the workhorse is probably the most secure place currently.
He
inside
is
your
going to
outrider.
run into he's going to run in the cargo hold and get in the passenger seat of the workhorse and just sit there.
Okay.
Very just patiently.
Now, Visha, as you are in a tending mood, it occurs to you that you have a very large undercrew now and not a very large ship. The seals on your ship are very dubious currently. So, with that in mind, you rolled a triumph on tending. Is there anyone in particular else that you would like to try to either preemptively save or get to safety? I will let you pick and find one before it hits, and that's not to say
One other one besides Vesh?
yes.
Ooh.
God, this feels like a Dragon Age choice. You
Oh.
must choose one to save.
Choose wisely.
Could I present something?
Oh,
to you?
sure. I love a bargain.
I'm wondering if I could know where people are right now. Is everybody under the deck mostly?
Okay. Everyone has gone below deck at this point. Yes.
I would say I'm above deck, right? Did you say what happened to me yet?
No, not yet.
So I mean, I was ripping
Okay,
sails
so you
above
were,
deck,
yeah,
just
you were, that's
trying
right,
to
you
quickly.
were ripping sails, yeah, to pass out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. My initial role was to help Vesh. I wonder if perhaps I could use to save multiple I could use my aspect. I'm gonna need 2, I think. I think I need to use 2 aspects, but hear me out.
Okay.
I would like to use Guide My Hands.
Okay.
Burn to borrow a measure of an ancestor's competency, gaining 2 ranks in any skill for the duration of a scene.
Okay.
My thought is it's not taking this quite so literally as what it says, but perhaps I was thinking for flavor, she remembers a similar situation from when her and the original crew were sailing, and this was a problem for her then, and they didn't go out with masks or anything over their faces, and seeing Vesh do this brings back a memory from her, technically her ancestors, but not, more like his, that reminds her of the time, and she remembers the way that her brother and crew did it at the time. Perhaps a certain, this is a skill I don't have, so I have to kind of fluff it a little bit, but perhaps a method in which he used like a knife or a way he tore it down where he was able to cover multiple people quickly.
Okay. I would say...
So, I don't want the 2 ranks.
I got you.
Yes.
Let me think. Roll 2d6 for me.
Okay.
We love a random roll.
Random roll
Right.
on a Tuesday night?
In front of my salad?
In front of your
5.
salad.
A 5 and a 6.
Okay.
Well, that's
So-
good. I don't know.
Please, 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 please. Please.
All right. This all happens so fast.
Okay.
Iesco, you see, go below deck. You see her go all gelatinous, squeezing into the cracks. You hear down below the door to your outrider, the workhorse, open and shut as Skell climbs in. Skell, you realize once you're in that you're not alone, that Sprite is in there with you and covering her small little mouth. Visha, you see Lao, Youngblood, and Needle all struggling as they're getting below deck, and you see them start to cough. And Vesh, who has torn down the sail, begins passing them out to everyone as you're all getting below deck. But as this is happening, you see Vesh black out and go limp. You catch him before he goes tumbling down the stairs and start passing out the cloths to Youngblood and Needle and Lao. But someone else had the same idea as you, as Marcus then sees what you're doing and using his powers tightly wraps the cloths around everyone's face and seals it. And you can see, like, with a motion that he is doing, like telling people to hold their breath. And then you hear and feel the spores go over. You, not needing to breathe, force yourself to not breathe. And now I get to do ye old fortune roll on the spirit roots.
How much of the ship turns to shrooms?
Well,
Right.
yes. And how
no.
good are your seals? I'm rolling 2d6 because they have not finished upgrading yet.
Scared.
Everything together, I rolled a conflict, a 5 and a 4. Between the cloth,
Okay.
you holding Vesh, who seems like he is the one that suffers the most. But you get everyone below deck, you close the hatch to the top. You say a prayer to your ancestors. You hear the wind howling, and you see outside the ship mushroom blooming, mold, some of it appearing inside. You feel your throat get tight. You feel as if things are crawling all over you, but you don't actually see anything. And then you see that the fungal bloom happening both outside and a little bit inside of the ship. You wait, holding the cloth to your mouth, waiting. Minutes go by. Eventually, things all go quiet. You see the mushrooms begin to die. You see the mold begin to blow away. And the danger passes as the spore cloud sweeps its way across the rest of harbor. Vesh, you wake up in a start in Visha's arms, having gone unconscious and coughing and feeling very weird. But everyone is okay.
All right.
Hi. You good?
Yes, we got everybody covered up. It looks like.
Yeah. You had a great idea.
It was Isoesco.
Isoesco's okay. Oh, it was theirs. Is that what you're saying?
It was their idea. Yes.
You're awfully modest.
He would get up, and assess everything, where everybody's at. Slowly get his bearings.
You look out the window. You see on the shoreline people coming out of buildings, many with spore cloths for the creatures that either don't need to breathe or are immune. Even though they're rare, you can see like a... Oh god, what are they called? It's like the not automatons. There's like there's people that are like more machine than biological, but you see a few walking around and they're kind of checking on the people. All the while, and you all would notice this as soon as you look outside, and maybe it's a little bit disturbing, not something you know what to do about, but you notice no Garls emerging from within shelter. It seems like the Garls were all outside during the cloud, and they just dust themselves off and go about their business.
Huh. When we're walking about, how many Garls do we usually see around?
At least like one or two at every intersection, basically.
Okay.
Approximately, give or take. They don't have the Republican wet dream of a cop at every corner, but assume it's not that much different.
Okay. Vesh is going to want to talk to Visha for a bit. He'll make his way back.
Mm-hmm.
Visha, your quick thinking might have saved people's lives. That probably feels pretty good.
Oh, it does. He reaffirms. That's right. This is what I'm meant to do.
Vesh comes in looking a little flustered to talk to you.
She's probably cleaning up from what happened, but yeah.
We did all right. This looks not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. Funnily enough, this is not the first time the spirit root survived something like this.
No?
No. There was a time... It's actually... You made me think of it when I saw you climbing up there. We had run through a particularly dense... we were a little bit lower than we should have been. And,
a spore cloud came through. And my brother, very funnily enough, kind of, I don't know, you reminded me of him, the way you ran up to those sails. Granted, at that time, we had a bit more prep, so I just did what he would have done.
We really need to get those spore scarves for the crew.
Yes, we should, and maybe check the seals.
Well, they're being upgraded right now. The timing.
I could try and trade for some for my services.
It's okay. I actually wanted to ask you about your time on this ship from before.
Yeah.
Well, why were you on the spirit route? You and your brother. Why did you travel? Why did you leave home?
I mean, did you leave home?
Well, I have my pilgrimage. My journey to prove my value,
Mm-hmm.
secure my standing in society.
Right. Our story wasn't too dissimilar. Granted, the one that we died on our second, actually. You see, the spirit route, the first time we went out, we were successful. My brother and I, we were close enough in age that we got to go together, and the first one was a simple one. I wanted to prove my worth by making some advancements in our medicine. So I discovered a few plants that you might recognize that we have at back home. I brought samples back and started to grow them. But the second time we went out, admittedly, I don't know why.
I see.
I was doing my brother a favor. He wanted to go out. He said there was some big important reason. That would be a surprise when we got there. And I trusted him enough.
So what did you do on your journey? You said you succeeded the first time.
The first time, yes.
What did you
Well,
bring back? What did you conquer? You guys didn't conquer someplace, did you?
oh, no. Like I said, I just discovered a few new plants. That's it. I brought them back. Around that time, medicine was much different then. So, there was a bad outbreak we had at the time. It's a long story and isn't really that important, but that's what I wanted to provide. I wanted to cure an illness. And so I went out and I found the plants necessary to do that, and I brought them back.
Vesh would pull out his letter, the one that he's been tasked to deliver across the
Conflagration.
flame and the wild expanse. And he'll say, well, when I was brought up, my parents weren't very supportive of me, but I had a friend, Gossamer. He was a word bearer, and he let me travel with him as far as my parents would let me, just the neighboring hubs. And he got me started in this trade. And his mission was to deliver this letter. But he failed. He came back home, letter in hand. And so they banished him. My family, my friends, my friend. I think the reason they were hesitant and well, my parents didn't want me to go at all. They thought it was crazy. But I think a lot of people just expected me to leave and not come home. You know, some people do that.
I know. But you want to go home.
I feel like it's important to deliver this, to finish what he started. And maybe, I don't know, maybe he's out there.
Maybe he is. Maybe we'll run into him. I mean, how important is the letter anyway? Have you ever read it?
No, I have no idea what's inside. It's,
You don't want to know what's inside the thing that got him banished.
Well, of course I want to know. I think about it all the time, but it's meant to be delivered sealed.
What if the letter is no longer relevant?
Well, I imagine it probably isn't relevant anymore. I mean, I've thought about that too, but it's not really the point.
Then what
Maybe
is
it
the
is.
point?
Maybe it is relevant.
I guess we'll never know.
The point is, our council wanted him to have this message. Maybe not the council that exists today. But, it's my job. That's my duty. If there's one thing that I can take seriously, it's at least that.
You should open it.
No.
How would they know?
Well, there's a seal. Is there like
Yes,
there's like a wax
but-
seal or something?
But he doesn't need to
There is a
know that it
seal.
was supposed to be delivered sealed. Also, you could seal it with something new.
I would need the council stamp. You really think I should open this?
Yes. You're out on a dangerous mission for a letter that could no longer be relevant. You've not thought about that at all.
It doesn't matter. Of course I've thought about it, but
What are they going to do if you open it? Banish you?
I mean, I guess theoretically they could if I.
But how
told
would...
them.
Why would you tell them that you opened it? That's the
But
only way.
that's not the point, Visha. This is
Then what's the
this is
point?
important to me. It's important to me to deliver messages to people who need them. Somebody wanted this message sent. It's my job to deliver it. All right? And you know what? What if it is pointless? What if I open it and it is pointless? And then what? I still have to deliver this message. And then I have to sit with that knowledge, knowing that this is just grandma's recipe for lasagna. I don't. It doesn't matter, but as long as I don't know, maybe it is important.
Mm.
And maybe it will be worth it to somebody to deliver this message as late as it might be.
Does it matter to you?
What do you mean?
What actually matters here? You delivering the message or getting your recognition back home? Which is it?
Both, I guess. Can it be both?
It can be both. This friend.
Yeah.
What were they like?
Honestly, they were completely opposite of me. Just absolutely focused on being himself at all times. He just did everything his way. And somehow people respected him still.
That's a good way to be. Look, I... Take it from me. Whatever my words mean, or how little or much they mean, but myself and my brother did everything that the council asked of us, even after we had both been successful in our initial pilgrimage. And we both lived our lives at their service. And do you want to know where it got us? Killed. For nothing. For something I'll never know. I'll never know what my brother was going to show me, what was so important that they had asked of him.
Well,
your friend did the same, and they got banished. I just want you to think about it, and if it's still worth it to you. I understand the pressure. I fell to it too. But you have a real chance at doing this, I think. I just want to make sure that you do it because you want to do it, not because they want you to. Because if you die out here, for this letter, I promise, it'll feel a whole lot better if you died because you wanted to do this, versus you died because someone told you to.
That makes sense. I guess I don't know what I thought this would be like. Maybe I don't really know what I want either.
That's okay. Who does? Really?
Maybe that's just something I'll get used to.
Probably. I think you should just do what you want. As simple as that sounds. That's the things that bring you acclaim. I had to face that actually, I think for this trip.
I was always told how weak it made me that I cared about other people in our society. And here I am with a stupid statue for it. Funny how the elders on our council would shower me with praise if they knew I had a statue out here. But they're the same people who condemned me for helping our weaker citizens.
Yeah, honestly, if there was a statue of me, I feel like I would have succeeded immediately.
Yeah.
Alright. He looks at the letter again. And back at Visha. Shakes his head. I'll think about it.
If you
We've
can't
got
do
plenty
it,
of
I'll do
time.
it. She like kind of reaches out her little hands, like she'll
He's-
open it.
He jerks away at the last second. No,
Hmm.
no. I am keeping my integrity, and he puts the letter
Of course.
away.
Okay.
Let me know when you change your mind.
He backs out of the whatever room they're in.
I would say you guys are in one of the rooms currently under construction.
She gives him a little teasing wave as he backs out. A little bit of mischief.
Izuesco, you emerge from the crevasses of the spirit root, and you, if you so choose, would overhear some of the conversation, but probably not very closely. And you see the state of the crew that we saw very briefly after the bloom, the spore cloud. You seem fine. Everyone else on the ship seems fine. But you hear Visha and Vesh just kind of discussing. At first it sounded like Visha was kind of fussing over Vesh, but then the conversation moves on to something more serious, and don't feel like it would be right to eavesdrop, but who knows, maybe I'm wrong about that. And I assume
you're right. She
And
would
the-
not stick around.
you hear and eventually see Skell and Sprite emerge from the workhorse below deck. And they both seem okay, though, at least in Sprite's case, and Chris, you can tell me if it's in the case of Skell as well, she seems a little shaken up.
I think being on the Wildsea, growing up as a stowaway, he wouldn't be shaken up at the spore storm cloud thing. But there'd definitely be like, that was a close one.
Yeah, I know that you all are professional sailors and have been on the sea for a long time, but usually we had like a pretty good shelter back home. It was a little frightening, to be totally honest.
You'll want to check your exoskeleton for any spores, Sprite.
Yes, we're not particularly immune to this type of thing, and you can see she kind of is checking her chitin in different places, as most Idzenko kind of have armor-like chitin all around them. And she's just kind of doing like a once-over and then feel, shaking her wings off, etc.
Where did you go, Izuesco?
Further into the hull of the ship.
You can squeeze like Zelacray.
I would need you to confirm that. I am not so familiar with Zelagray.
You can squeeze into the hull.
Somewhat, yes.
How small can you get?
I do not know. Perhaps this small?
And she references the very rigid lightning rod in her left arm. Not necessarily shrinking herself, but like kind of demonstrating like this don't bend. So probably this, anywhere that can fit that in, she can probably get through.
That is fascinating. I did not know that you could squeeze like I can.
It was a surprise to me when I first found it. Not all Ketra can.
Not all Zellicray can either.
Hmm.
We are special.
In many ways, I think, yes.
This puts me in the mood for mushroom meat. Captain Vesh, are your lungs okay?
Yeah, I think so.
I could send my spider scout internally to scout for you.
Internally, as in inside my lungs. Is that what you meant?
Correct. Seems correct to me. Or perhaps some Krezerin will help burn the spores from your lungs.
I think these are both terrible ideas. I mean to be as politely as I can say that, and I mean to encourage you to keep sharing your ideas, but never those ideas again, for both of you.
So you do not want my spiders in your lungs, nor Izuesko's Krezerin.
No, I do not want Krezerin or spiders inside my lungs. I feel like that's a reasonable request, right? Not even as a captain, just as a normal,
I mean, I do
being to
have
being.
some left over, Captain.
And a glob of it kind of just like goes up her left arm and like just kind of sits in her palm, like just below the surface of her skin.
I would like to think that if Mistress Visha ordered a medical procedure to be done and needed eyes inside of your body, a scout spider would be quite invaluable.
As you all are saying this, to kind of underline the point, you see Sprite just kind of shake herself for a bit, and then you see her like molt her exoskeleton off, and then the skeleton itself starts walking on the ground and goes off to one of the new room that's under construction. And you look at her and you see she has grown 4 additional arms, and she looks like she's knitting something. And then she looks over at you and shrugs. I don't know, the Wildsea's a really weird place. Maybe you want a spider inside you.
See?
I will leave the decisions to the doctors for that one. All right, why don't we leave it at that?
I am just saying, if you develop a cough or feel, what did Mistress say, under the weather, you can come to us. And he motions to him, and I was so
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
Soon enough.
Appreciated.
Sorry.
Under the weather. I like this saying. Perhaps ozone could help burn from your lungs.
No. You know, I'm going to go check on the repairs, and we need a new sail, right? And he's gonna leave, and as he's backing up, he's gonna look at. I'm assuming Izoeska still has the Krezerin blob available, and he's gonna go. You know that's poisonous to most of us, right? as he backs out of the room.
You hear Marcus lumber
Okay, well then,
from somewhere
don't-
inside and is like, technically we don't need a sail, but it's there for cosmetic. And then realizes he's talking to himself and then stops talking.
Well,
we still have sails maybe to help with
No, not at all.
Vesh, you don't get to see this then. The look that Izuesco gives Skell very clearly shows she was attempting to joke this entire time. She's kind of got like the like look on her face, and then she realizes like he didn't get the joke because she like absolutely knows that it is poisonous to most people because at one point it was very poisonous to her. So like she just kind of brings her hand down like you tell your opening joke at an open mic night and it just goes over about as well as you expect, and she just kind of lowers her hand and goes,
Skell just looks at Izoesco. He is telling the truth. It is quite deadly to most other people.
I was attempting ardent humor.
You see a look like Skell's head just twists. That is good, Izoesco.
I believe they call it black humor.
No, that's not what they call it.
Mistress, have you been here the whole time?
Just use little spectral self to sink through, yes.
It's not called that.
What is it called if not black humor?
Well, it's similar. I typically hear dark humor, but I suppose dark, black, similar, they're not synonyms. Well, maybe they are synonyms. Depends on the context.
I will not attempt this dark humor again. I fear it has embarrassed me.
Oh, don't be embarrassed. It was funny.
Sprite looks up as you see she's still knitting with her 6 hands now. I thought it was pretty funny. I mean, I doubled down, right?
Doubling down, yes.
I think, you know what makes you funny, Izoesco?
She shakes her head like almost immediately, like no.
Because you have dry humor.
Ketra are infamously not dry.
That's why it's funny.
But
It's a little bit.
Wait, do you need
the same
medical
as
attention?
Skell's joking.
Meanwhile, Izuesco is in the middle of all of this. Just you can almost see the equations just floating past her head as she's like looking and trying to keep track of what's going on. She's so lost right now.
Right.
Well, it's because you are moist, Izuesco, and it is called dry humor.
So, yes, that is exactly why.
I don't know if Sparrow's processing or if Izuesco is.
No, it's Izuesco. I was like, I should say something because I'm sure somebody is listening to this in their kitchen and going, "There's been a really long podcast."
Somebody's not watching us, just listening.
They're pressing no, like going back to their phone, like hands are kind of wet, and they're like, I gotta. Okay, it's been going this whole time. No, Izuesco looks like she's just like you've just given her a really difficult puzzle to solve. She's like,
no.
She's like, but if wet, but dry, I don't.
If
What is
wet, how
humor
dry?
that is?
If wet,
And
how
it's
dry?
like it's that, and then it's also like she's too embarrassed to ask, and she's like, it's like the kid that's like, let me figure it out, I got this, and you're just like, you're not gonna get it, kid, just let me tell you. But she refuses to ask for help, but she like just is just so like in the middle of this puzzle, like trying desperately to get her way out. So she's just standing there, and her head occasionally just like goes from the left to the right. And then she kind of just like makes eye contact with the both of you and then walks out of the room without a word. She just goes topside without a word.
Real, she said, and that's too much for me.
Yeah.
Welcome,
Goodbye.
Raiders. Hope you all
Hello.
had a good
Hello.
Hey. Stream. Vesh, I believe you went up to the top, yes?
Yep. I just exited the premises.
You would see approaching the gangplank, between some Garl patrols is Ollie.
Ollie walking towards us?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna wait to see if the Garls are. Well, you know what? I'm gonna hop. How close is he? Is he? Can I intercept him without him getting too close to the?
Yeah, you have time. I was gonna say he's pretty far. He's about 100 feet away, so you can get to him before he gets up to the gang.
Yeah. I can vault too. I got good vault.
No roll necessary, but good to know. But yeah, he's walking towards your ship like pretty quickly, but you get to him before he gets there. And he looks a little like confused, and he says, "You don't want me on your ship?"
Just wanted to be safe. Make sure you're not being followed or anything like that.
And he seems a little annoyed, and he's like, "Okay, fine."
All right. Can I look around and just make sure that there's no Garls that are
within earshot,
or just that seem to be trailing? Or I'll walk him back to the
I got
ship.
you.
But I just wanna.
Do you have sense? Use sense.
I don't have sense.
So what do you got?
What do I have?
What do you got? Clandestine skills.
Guess I don't really have anything. I mean, tides the closest. That's barely anything.
Go ahead and make your roll with tides, friend.
That's a 4.
There are Garls around. You can see that some of them are looking at you, but none are close enough to hear you.
I walk him slowly to the ship and just keeping an eye off. If I see anything, I might veer at the last second if I catch any weird sense.
And he's walking. Now that you've like kind of confronted him, the last time you saw him, he seemed very confident and like sure of himself. Now he seems very uncertain and unsure of himself suddenly, once you've like kind of interrupted his stride and are like, whoa, slow your roll there. And he's just kind of like meekly following you to the ship. And he is carrying a satchel, and he's otherwise like doesn't have his nighttime gear on. He's got like his arbor forester gear on this time, since it is during the day.
Okay. As I'm ushering him towards the ship, as we're getting on the ship, I would ask him, "Everything all right?" As we're getting on and getting closer to people that might hear him on the ship.
I made the rounds and they're ready. People are ready. We're just waiting on you. And look, I didn't really actually have anything important I wanted to say. I really want to meet Izoesco.
All right. Sure, why not?
Thank you. Yeah, are they around?
Yeah. Come on aboard.
And he like nods twice really quickly. And again,
And I'll guide him.
Good.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go ahead. You're good.
I'll guide him onto the ship and into the room with others. I know Izoesco left, right? So I'm not sure if are you where are you? Where did you go, Izoesco?
She went topside
Okay.
from that particular situation. So if you are bringing him onto the boat, there's a pretty decent chance you'll see her somewhere.
Yeah. You as soon as I come on board, I go, well, speak of the devil, and I call out to you, not too loud, just as we approach. Izoesco,
Captain.
there's someone that I think you should meet. I think everybody should meet. Let me explain.
Before you've even said anything, Ollie is like step forward and does like a full, like very formal bow to Izoesco.
They I mean they breathe, I guess, in the sense of you can see like a rhythmic rise and fall in the chest, but I think it pauses when they bend down as if they're caught off guard by the honorific, the honored gesture, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
And they are like watching this person, and they may be listening to you, Vesh, but they're not looking at you.
Okay.
Are you
Who?
Oh, my manners. My name is Ollie.
Ollie. Hello. I am Izoesco. It is a pleasure to meet you.
I'm a big fan. I've heard a song about what you did at the concourse.
A song?
Yeah,
I see.
Song.
Yeah, there was a song written. Well, I've never tempests aren't very common, so we listen for stories about them. Can you train me?
Train you? You are...
And she lets it trail off.
Yes, but different.
Show me.
And he looks to Vesh and then to you and then looks down at the ship and then kind of like stares
No.
at you, Izoesk, and is like, are you sure?
Not on the ship, no, but yes, I am sure. We can.
And you see,
What?
go ahead.
What is it you want to know?
I want to control it better.
Is there any wildlife that they can see from the deck of the ship?
If you wanted to look out into the thrash, there's tons
Mhm.
that you would be able to see.
Yeah.
Maybe not super clearly, but there's lots around.
If you were to aim at that,
And she just points at a random branch that is like 75 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
It's maybe a little bit bushier.
could you hit it without starting a fire?
He looks at you. Oh, definitely not.
Too far, or you would start a fire?
I would start a fire.
Hmm.
Can I
Interesting.
can I show you really quickly?
As long as it's safe for the ship and you're not going to draw any attention.
Yes, forgiveness, Captain. We are attempting to be discreet at this time.
And you see Ollie kind of like go further away from the dock onto a part of the ship that's shielded. And they're kind of like hunched. And then you see him open his hand. And you see not lightning, but fire blossom in his hand for a moment. And then he shuts it. And you see the smoke dissipate off of his hand. I really need to learn how to control this.
I see. Yes, I agree. Controlling it. Will do my best. Not exactly the same element, but yes, I will help.
Good. And he seems like embarrassed and then like shakes him off. He's like, right, the whispers are ready for you. Just let us know. And before he can like change his mind, he like hastily leaves the top of the ship and begins walking back to the city.
She kind of does that outstretched hand like she's gonna try to stop him, but she like pulls her hand back and looks over her right shoulder back at Vesh.
I am unsure. He is dangerous. But with your blessing, Captain, I will help him.
I think it's up to you. It's fine with me. But I think we need to discuss more broadly what it is we're trying to do here and how we're going to help these people with these girls. And that's where I think Ollie comes in, right?
Yes.
And then it's almost like a lightning flash in her face. She drops her hand and her head raises up and she turns to face you wholly now.
The girls made mostly of clockwork, enough to control, if he can control fire, melt the girls susceptible, perhaps something more subtle, even destroying the programming cards. The girl controlled with programming cards could destroy those, cause issues. Enough heat could destroy internals, make them more susceptible to this.
And there's a little flash of crackle of almost like static level electricity between her slimy webbed fingers, and he is just starting to just go he's just rambling now, and wait, you're gonna have to stop him.
Yeah.
He's
He lets you ramble. He
out.
lets you ramble for a bit, and then gently interjects. So we have a lot of options, it seems. Okay.
Yes. However, is extremely dangerous unchecked. So priority, perhaps, because could cause unanticipated obstacles if Ali loses control. Lightning is one thing, somewhat predictable. Fire leaves the world in ash.
And
Always.
I'm going to take us to a different part of the ship for a moment, as we are getting close to the end. Visha, to what extent you've heard this conversation or not is up to you below deck. But what I'd say you see someone watching you. Just want to point it out, since you are now familiar with this person. That small girl, remember you saw the first day that you chase after Lynn, is watching your ship and seems to be watching, not that you know who this is, but is watching Ollie go from the ship back into the city. And it seems like she's back to her spying ways again.
But spying for good, I think. Mayhaps.
Mayhaps, could be. Something for you to investigate later.
Indeed.
The politics of the situation, unclear.
Noted.
And I think that is a good place for us to end tonight. Unless anyone has anything else before we close out really quick.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it works.
I think that's wonderful.
We will be back next week. Maybe with a revolution, maybe with cooler heads prevailing, maybe with the concepts of a plan. We'll find out shortly after we have a good break. I hope you all have a wonderful, if you are American, 4th of July holiday and have some time off, if that's a thing that you celebrate. All of our other shows are off this week as we had finales happen, but you can catch up on Blood Money and Heirs of Honor on our YouTube, youtube.com/MagicRPG. Thank you to all the raiders who came in. Come and talk about your Steam sale games on our Discord, discord.gg/MagicRPG. Otherwise, we will see you next time. Hope you have a wonderful night and see you again soon. Bye bye.
Good night.
굴먹게 모퉁이에 baby bird and mama bird 아련히 봤지만 oh baby I loved you better than I 누군가에겐 하지 않아 아 끝없이 스스로 재난다 봐 You've got this 다시 털고 일어나 그게 너야 Oh you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're everything you need, yeah 기타를 치며 따르라 노래하는 나의 꿈 그